stream. Hudson's right here, ready to talk to you. I have just disembarked a cruise, the best cruise, the joint top cruise that I've ever taken. Cruising from Singapore to Tokyo, absolutely fantastic. A cruise with Royal Caribbean, and I have so much to say. My goodness, if you have any questions, it can be related to cruise destinations, cruise ships. Doesn't even have to be cruise related. Whatever you want, I will do my best to answer as many questions as I can during this live stream. So the first thing I should say, thank you, Sean, for saying this. He says, if you have a question, can you start it with question? If you could do that, it makes it much easier and much more likely that I'll be able to pick out what is your question, and I will do my best to answer as many as I can. Stephen asked a very good question. He says, wondering how the jet lag caused problems on arrival. So I flew direct from London to Singapore, and there's a 7-hour time difference. So we basically flew overnight and then fast forwarded an entire day, and then it was evening again. It's definitely a lot harder to go that way than to come back the other way. And it was tricky. Like, I think it took 5 days for me to sleep all the way through the night. It was not a problem. It was just very boring to wake up. I'd go to bed at normal time and I'd wake up at like 2 a.m. for 2 hours or 3 hours and then go back to sleep, which was a bit annoying. But it was fine. I think the night flight was the best way to do that. And then coming back from Tokyo was actually fine. So yeah, normally I find if I go to the US, it's okay, and coming back is harder. So it is the same thing. It's easier to go backwards and to make yourself stay awake rather than trying to make yourself go to sleep. That is quite kind of tricky, but so worth it. So worth it. Hello to Emma, who's in here. Nice to see you, Emma. Nice to see you, Justin. Kevin's in here. Hello, Kevin. Hello, Lou. So many of you. Thank you so much. If you do have, Kevin says, ooh, discounts. Yes, my discount is cats, dogs, rabbits. This week, cats, dogs, rabbits. And this is the cats t-shirt in honor of Hudson, who's clawing at the carpet as we speak. Hello, Jackie, who's in here. So nice to see you all. Jeffrey says, what is everyone's favorite cookie? It is a chocolate chip for me. Plain chocolate chip, same as Lou. Yes, anything with chocolate. Triple chocolate. Jackie says, chocolate chip. Good, good. Hello to the cruise boys. Hello to my dad, who's in here too. It is nice to see you all. Cruise boys say, were there any differences to board a cruise in Singapore? Was it easier or more tricky? It was pretty easy. I mean, there's more to it. It's more complicated than if you're from the UK and you're boarding a cruise in Southampton, because they need to check everyone has the right visas depending on where they're from for the different countries. Different people need different things. Being from the UK, I didn't need a visa for Singapore, Hong Kong, Vietnam, Japan, anywhere. I didn't need any visas. So I got the sticker that said visa-less, visa not needed, which was really cool. But obviously they have to check. Still pretty easy though. It's a big terminal. I think it's 1 million people go through there every year. So it's just like a big cruise terminal. But yeah, it was pretty good, pretty easy. Royal Caribbean, you do a lot of stuff on the app. So we'd already uploaded our pictures, put in the credit cards. We did the muster drill. I watched some of that on the bus. So pretty easy, pretty easy. What is your lighting setup? You're looking radiant. I have a light in front of me, a big box, and I have one to the side here. So I have two lights for this. I see David. Hello, David. He says, hey, we met on board. I'm the Canadian. It's so good. I was collecting. I think it's only people from Canada that I actually met on the cruise. Flew from Toronto to Germany to Singapore, cruise, then Tokyo to LA, then Toronto. Oh my goodness. Wow. It was so nice to meet you. I'm not surprised that you were struggling. That sounds a lot. But yeah, I met people from Australia. I met people from the US. I met people from Canada. I met people from Finland. I met people from the UK. Met all kinds of people on the cruise. It was a really interesting mix. Dan says, shine bright like a diamond. Thank you, Dan. Hello, Dan. Nice to see you. Cruise boys say, sort of a follow-up to the question, do cruise lines tell you in advance if you need visas, or do you have to check yourself? Both. I mean, they tell you, but I would definitely check for yourself. You know, if you have a travel agent, they'll tell you for sure. But yeah, they will tell you, but it's sort of like, click on this link to find out if the country you're from, you know, needs the visa and stuff. It's pretty easy. I just Googled, do you need a visa, UK, Singapore, for example, and it comes up. Donna says, question, how soon can we order Captain Hudson 3? So, very exciting. Captain Hudson 3, you may have recognized him in the background. This dashing little chap. He arrived for me yesterday. So that's very exciting. And I think you will agree he's very cute, right? Do you think he's cute? Little jacket on. It says Emma Cruises on the back too. So we're just setting up the actual store, the payments and everything like that. He'll cost the same as he did last time. All the money is going to Mercy Ships again. So it's just sort of sorting out logistics at the minute, like this little tag and stuff. So maybe tomorrow, like very, very soon. If you're not on the wait list, check that out on my website, emmacruises.com. But very soon, very, very soon. And I'm hoping it would be nice, I think possibly, if he'll arrive before Christmas, which will be pretty cool because he's a handsome little chap. What is your favorite food in the world? Yorkshire puddings. Yorkshire puddings. Yeah, Lou says, always check yourself. TA is a great book and miss one. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely check. We'll put him there. He sits up nicely, that one. They're all slightly different. Some of them are a bit more padded than others. Some of them are a bit like, they're all handmade, so they're all a bit different. Is airfare a major problem when planning a cruise on a budget? Yes. Yes. A lot of people ask me about my last cruise. I think it was a pretty decent price. So I took a 12-night cruise. I had an obstructed view balcony and I paid $1,600 for the cruise. And I think that's okay. I think that's not too bad. I met friends on board who paid under £1,000 for 12 nights, which is very good. Inside cabin, of course. But that absolutely did not include flights. The flights cost far more than the cruise. And that's what, if you want to go to Tokyo from London, that's just, planes just cost money. He's formal in his tuxedo. Yes, this is formal night Hudson, which is very cool. Thanks, Adam, who says, excited for all the content from this cruise. So happy I could catch the live stream. Adam is a member for 5 months. I didn't know it said that. That's very cool. Very, very cool. Yes. I did actually on this cruise. I actually did my members and Patreon podcast on the ship so that I could get that out as soon as possible. And we do have some outtakes in there from my last video if you want to check that out. Oh, Cruise Boy say he's so cute. He is cute. He's a handsome, handsome boy, this one. Each of them looks slightly different, which I think is really cute because they're like brothers, I think. But he does look very cute. He is handsome. He's dashing. Yeah. What other merch do you have besides Captain Hudson? Not that much is better than Captain Hudson. He is a legend. Yeah, Captain Hudson is the main thing. Absolutely. But I have all kinds of t-shirts. Like, for example, this one that says, all you need in life are cats and cruises. I design all of my t-shirts myself, by the way. We also have dogs and rabbits. And at the moment, the dogs one, we've sold way more of dogs than cats. So I need the cats people to catch them up. But we have all kinds of designs. We have Emma Cruises ones, Hudson ones, some that are not Emma Cruises related. We also do, hoodies, tank tops, blankets, magnets, stickers, mugs, everything. Like everything in my house, obviously, is Hudson related because he's so cute. But yeah, it's emmacruisesshop.com. Oh, I think Hudson wants to come for some dreamies. And we have all kinds of things on there. I'm just adding Christmas range. I know it's not Christmas yet, but I'm adding Christmas range at the moment. Right, Hudson, you know how to get dreamies. You have to do high fives. Ready? Do a high five. Yeah, that's how you get a dreamy. Hudson, high five. Come on. Oh, you can't reach that high. Try higher. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. Where is the real Hudson? There he is. He's right here. Come on, Hudson. Oh, good boy. You can't see because he's too far down, but that was a high five, I promise. How about one more up higher, Hudson? Let's see if you can reach. Did the cruise have a pool? Yes, so I cruised on Spectrum of the Seas. It is a quantum ultra class ship. And yeah, it has pools. It has inside pool, outside pool, solarium pool, everything. It was a very nice cruise ship. It was very weird because I have cruised on Anthem of the Seas, which is the American version. And this was it's designed for the Chinese market. So everything is in Chinese. Good boy, Hudson. You're so clever. Are you going to do another Cunard cruise? At some point, yes. I haven't got any booked at the minute. How bad was the seasickness on this cruise? Nothing. It was an absolute, possibly... Oh, it's there, Hudson. Possibly the calmest cruise I've ever been on. Hudson, you can't... There. You're not so smart sometimes. It was so smooth. So smooth. Didn't feel a thing. Do certain cruise lines allow you to bring your own cup to fill up at soda machines? I saw comments from your Disney video where people said you could have bought your own. On Disney, soda is included at the pool deck. It's not on any other cruise line apart from if you do like an all-inclusive cruise with a cruise line like Marella. Oh my god. Just okay. Right. We'll just give Hudson those dreamies because he's just causing trouble. But yeah, on Disney, soda is included, so you can have whatever cup you want, but you can't, for example, go on a Royal Caribbean cruise. They have soda machines. You can't just go there and then use your own cup because you haven't paid for it. So it depends if it's included. Just wondering if your MSC World Europa video will be out soon. I'm boarding for Halloween. It will not because I have not been on MSC World Europa yet, so it'll be quite a while. Did you go to uni? What did you study and where? Yes, I did. I studied maths and business. Half and half, and I went to the University of Brighton. Yes. So maths degree is very useful for this career. Hudson, you've had plenty of dreamies. Plenty. Stay there. Yes. Cats for the win. Absolutely. Yes. I have a Captain Hudson t-shirt. Amazing. It's just the most amazing thing to me when people meet other people because they know of Captain Hudson, my cat. It's so weird, but it's so cool. He is, yeah, Hudson's very beautiful. Thanks, Kevin, for sharing the link. Yeah, all kinds of things on there. So I have been adding Christmas things soon. So I think I hope you like this because I designed this. It's so cute, right? Like little Christmas tree ornaments. Hudson likes it. But I have some Christmas t-shirts and stuff coming soon. Why rabbits? I love them, but I was curious why you chose rabbits. I asked people what they wanted, and rabbits was the third on the list. A lot of people wanted fish, but all you need in life is fish, and cruises seems a bit, I don't know. Rabbits. Yeah, Hudson is clever, but not so smart. Yeah, sometimes he cannot see. Maybe it's not his fault he can't see things, but for example, there's a dreamy there that you missed, Hudson. Have you cruised to the Azores? I've never cruised to the Azores, but I have been to the Azores on land. It's very luscious and wet and rainy. It's very cool. It's beautiful. I remember me and my mum doing a tour in the Azores, and it was only me and my mum who would. I think we may have been the only people on the bus, but we were definitely the only people on the top level of the bus. No, when I was on Spectrum, the only announcements were in English. Everything was written in Mandarin and English, but it was only in English, the announcements. Yes. Which is interesting because the top nationality was well, I suppose Singapore. English is a spoken language there. So thank you, David, for for the super chat. He said, you mentioned on board that it would be weird to like Royal and not NCL. That's an interesting perspective that I've never heard before. Is there anything more you could say on that? I think Norwegian and Royal Caribbean target the same markets. Their ships are similar size. They have, smaller ships, bigger ships. I can't imagine that you would like one and not the other, to be honest. Norwegian's a bit more sort of freestyle. I would say Royal Caribbean's maybe a bit more child-focused and Norwegian's a bit older. But yeah, they're both big American cruise lines. They know what they're doing. They've been doing it for decades and decades. Yeah, ginger cats aren't renowned for their brains. Yeah, that is true. Yes. Judy says, do you have a full-time job? Well, yes, I run my own business. I work from the cruise ships. I understand it's very interesting. It's not a job I could have imagined. It's a business I built up while I had another full-time job. And if you're interested in how that works, how I make money, go to emmacruises.com, type in income. I talk about all the different ways that I make money because I think it's very interesting. Matt says, missed early new channel member, Adam, brackets 5 months. Thank you, Adam. I cannot see that. Do we have 2 5-monthers in here, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, my mum says, sheep bus to nowhere. I think we were the only ones on the tour bus, end of the season. Yeah, very cool. I love the fact that you did maths, actually majoring in that myself. Besides budgeting for your trips, what else from your uni do you find useful in your day-to-day life? There is 0.000% of the content that I learned at university that is useful to my business now. Even though I did half a business degree, none of that has ever been useful. But what it did teach me is how to sit down and motivate myself to work. And I think that's obviously what I needed, because I built this up while I had another job, and coming home and sitting down and doing work, that was very important. So yeah, taught me self-discipline, I guess. But the actual content, if you do a maths degree, there's not even any numbers in it anymore. It's more just, I don't know what the point was, but I did it, and I'm glad I did it. Have you had any luck getting a kettle put in the room with NCL? I've never asked. I've never had one, but I've also never asked for one. So I can't say no, they don't do it when I haven't tried. Did you have a storm on this cruise? No, we had the smoothest seas ever. So smooth. Have you ever asked a shipyard to visit their facilities? I have been to shipyards in the past. I went to see the MSC Bellissima, and I went to see Scarlet Lady back when Virgin Voyages were launching. Yeah, degrees about transferable skills. I mean, for me, the main thing that degree did was it got me a job that was a steady 9 to 5 office job. And while I was there, I could save up, I could go on a cruise, I could write about cruises. So it was good. Adam says, has NCL reached out about any more collaborations? Yes, we are planning something for next year. So I'll tell you where I'm going and stuff when I know. Jason says, how tall did you feel in Japan? I'm 5'6", so I'm not. I didn't feel particularly tall, but probably taller than I do at home, I guess. Kerry's in here. Hey, Kerry says Hudson version 3 is so cute. He is, yes. Sean says, if you have a question, please start it with question. Yes, if you can. It does get really tricky because I can't really pause and read. So I'm reading and speaking at the same time, which is a weird set of skills that I have built up. So yes. If you can keep the questions shorter too, there's more chance that I'll be able to read it and put it on the screen, just because I don't want to stop and be like, right, let's read, because that's no fun for you when you're watching. Would you recommend doing the excursions on an Asia cruise? Yes. So I normally don't do cruise line excursions. I'm very pro do it yourself when you can. And I did sort of half and half on this cruise. I did 3 excursions with the cruise line, and the rest of the time, the 3 other ports I did by myself. 3 other days I did by myself. I think if you are going somewhere where you are docked in the middle of the town, it's fine. It's okay. It's fine. If you're somewhere where you know that you can get on a train, totally fine. But a lot of the places we visited, some of the excursions I did, one of them was a 6-hour excursion. 4 hours were on the bus because it was like an hour and a half to look at this thing, then an hour and a half to go look at the next thing. And I didn't want to miss any of those things, but it's more tricky to do that by yourself when you don't speak the language. You can't read any signs. I don't understand what the currency conversion rate is. So I'm glad for ease that I did do some excursions, but they're not cheap. I mean, every excursion I did cost £100 per person. So that is a lot. Thomas says, your lighting looks great today. It may be because I did just film a YouTube video right before this. I had about sort of half an hour between. I'm still uploading the audio and stuff as we speak. It is a video. I decided to split up my video about the Asia cruise. I hope that you will like it because I wanted to make... Normally, I don't really talk about ports much or excursions. I find that it doesn't really do very well on my channel. But it is so interesting. We had 2 days in Hong Kong. We went to Vietnam. We had 3 Japanese ports, ended in Tokyo, and went from Singapore. So I really want to talk about that. So I'm going to do separate videos, one more about the destinations and then one more about what it's like to cruise on an American cruise line with a Chinese market ship. Yeah, because there's some certain things that they change. Like, for example, on Royal Caribbean cruises, it's very common to have a pizza restaurant called Sorrento's right in the main streets. And on Spectrum of the Seas, that's up in the buffet. And they replaced the pub. Of course, me as a Brit, I miss the pub. Lots of other lounges and bars and stuff, but they replaced the pub with a place called Leaf and Bean, which is like specialty tea, I think. I didn't go in there. Yeah, Adam says, Japan is a dream trip for me. Can't wait to see all that. Yeah, I think it should be a dream trip for everybody. It's just incredible. Definitely, Japan is the best place I've ever been. The most interesting, for sure. Your videos are always just the right lengths. Thank you very much. I did release this week, so I released a video that's been on my edit pile for a year, and it is my Queen Mary 2 cabin review. So if you haven't seen that, check it out. Check it out. Inside cabin. Yeah, pretty nice. Pretty nice considering the age of the ship. It's not a new ship, but it's pretty nice. Pretty nice. What are Holland America like as a line? I have not cruised on Holland America, so this is based on working with travel agents. We book a lot of Holland America cruises, and I have been on for a ship visit. It seems like a sort of traditional, grown-up, quite classy, good food, good service. It's not a party cruise line. That's the vibe that I get, and that sounds good. That's why I was confused. Long hair. Yeah, I had that video was before I shaved my hair off for charity. So yes. Yeah. A lot of people were confused by that, a lot. And also that was the video I recorded was before we had a Captain Hudson. So you can see what was the prototype, earliest version of Captain Hudson, which is a little ginger cat toy that the cruise boys who are in the chat bought me long ago. He was the inspiration for Captain Hudson, and you can see that. Yes, Tony at Lolita Loca has some great Holland America reviews. Yeah, that's where most of my knowledge comes from, is other people cruising on Holland America. Oh, I literally just watched that video and now straight to the stream. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, Holland America has the best chocolate chip cookies. I've never had one, so I wouldn't know, but I will find out. Can you expand on Japan being the best versus Scandinavia or USA or Mediterranean? It is just, if you are in somewhere like Japan, it's like taking your life, everything you know about your life, just reset it. It's like a parallel world. Everything you know, just forget it, restart. And it's so easy to explore because it is so clean and safe and everything is on time and it's cheap and it's just fascinating. If you go to a park, like every park has the most amazing public toilets. I know it sounds ridiculous, but the toilets in Japan is just incredible. So even if you literally go to a park, get a Pepsi and go to the toilet, it's the best day. It's the best day in the world. It's so cool. Yeah, Cruise Boys, did we inspire Captain Hudson? I thought you knew this. The real Hudson is here. I think he's going to jump on me in a minute. There he is. There you are. You've had enough dreamies, though. I do not speak Dutch, no. I wish I could speak Dutch. I don't speak Dutch. What are your thoughts about NCL's recent announcement about cruising solos to increase cabin event? Yeah, I mean, Norwegian Cruise Line are the cruise. Hudson's trying to eat the dreamies. No, don't eat the dreamies. They're the cruise line that Hudson. Don't know if you can hear him. He's trying to open the packet with his mouth. You're not having any more, Hudson. No, you're not having any more. But Norwegian are always the cruise line that I think of when it comes to solo cruising. They put so much more effort into their solo cabins and solo lounges than any other cruise line. No, you cannot go on the keyboard because you will end the live stream. He's trying to end the live stream, guys. Oh, what is more important on a cruise, in your opinion? A pub or unlimited biscuits? Probably unlimited biscuits because you can substitute the pub if there's like a nice lounge or a bar or something. Look, he's trying to do high fives, you see? Do you see? Okay, Hudson, if you can do a really good high five, I'll get you some dreamies. High five. You see? He's trying. Right, we'll get you some dreamies. Good boy. Good boy, Hudson. Yes. Which cruise line have you sailed on the most? That will be Norwegian Cruise Line. Norwegian Cruise Line. I took my first cruise with Norwegian Cruise Line, and okay, you can just eat these. It's okay. You've done enough high fives. Good, Hudson. I took my first cruise with Norwegian Cruise Line. I cruised with them every 2 or 3 years when I was a... He's destroying the chair. When I was a teenager. And then when I took my first cruise sort of as an adult. Oh my goodness, Hudson. What are you doing? It's on the floor. If you want any more, they're on the floor. I chose Norwegian for my first cruise as a proper adult. Adam says, Dreamies definitely need to sponsor you in Hudson. That would be fantastic. The power that the Dreamies have over Hudson. Say hi, Hudson. Look up here. No? You're not going to look up there? Okay. You know, I get comments that say, too much cats on these live streams sometimes. that is impossible. If you don't want to see Hudson, well, we cannot be friends because Hudson, he's my little comfort animal. There's no more. See, he's like high five. There's no more Hudson. There's no more. Could you please cover a even more luxury line like Silversea? I have no plans to cruise on Silversea. I would love to. Never too much cat. Thank you. I think so too. I think he's perfect. Perfect amount of cat. But if you check out, I recently did a cruise on an emerald yacht that was very, very luxurious. So check that out. Those videos are on my channel. Yeah. Don't be daft. Never too much cat. Yes. Yeah, Japanese culture. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing how you don't speak any Japanese. Well, you may speak Japanese, but I don't speak Japanese, and they don't speak English. But you don't need to. You can do almost anything without really language. If you buy things, you just say, "Oh, two of us," or you put things down and you just say thank you, and then they'll just show you the money, and then you just give them the money, and then they say thank you, and then you say thank you, and then that's it. You don't really. You can point at things, and it is okay. Yeah, I think Hudson joining you on the live is adorable. Thank you. He has inspired everything. He is my logo. He is the Captain Hudson's. He has raised, I don't even remember how much money he's raised now, but he's raised an awful lot of money for Mercy Ships, the charity. All the profit from these toys goes to Mercy Ships. So he's a clever cat. He is very smart. Is there a cruise line that accepts pets? Not like in your cabin accepts pets. If you check out the Cunard video that I put out recently about the cabin, there's a fire hydrant in it. And in the comments, people were so confused whether there was a fire hydrant on a cruise ship. And I understand, but it's for the dogs if they need to relieve themselves and they are used to a fire hydrant. That's what that's for. Yeah. Excited to order version 3. Thank you. I think maybe even tomorrow. It could even be today. I don't know. I have given all of the information to the company. They're a Canadian company. So I'm waiting for them to wake up. Should be awake now, hopefully. So fingers crossed soon. Yeah. Queen Mary 2, you can take the dogs and the cats. Yeah. Never too much cat. He's a great podcast guest. Yeah, he does normally join podcasts. I did a podcast recently, Shelter Cats podcast, and Hudson joined. He meows and stuff. He meows on my Patreon podcast sometimes. Statement. I'm here. You can start now. Okay, let's just pretend that we just started now. We haven't already talked for 27 minutes. Yeah, I think Canada will wake up soon. We're awake. That's good. Emma says, please don't forget to hit the like button. There's 700 people watching. That is terrifying, 700 people. But yes, if you could like it, I would really, really appreciate it. I think, back in the right time zone now. The problem is I wake up and I think I should have already had lunch and I should have already had dinner because I've gone back in time. So I'm hungry. But that's the only problem. I'm doing pretty good. Your hair was very different on the Queen Mary 2 video. It was just like a few inches longer than this. It was before I shaved my hair off for charity. If you haven't seen that video, check that out. That's not even my top live stream. My top live stream is when I went on Anthem of the Seas and I got COVID. So people were more interested in when I had COVID than when I shaved my head. Did you buy anything fun in Japan? I bought a few souvenirs. I'm not a souvenir person. I don't really buy souvenirs for people. I did think about buying my parents a souvenir or something, but I went to Japan with my parents and they didn't buy any souvenirs for themselves, so I don't think they want any. But I just bought a few like little ornaments and key rings and stuff like that. So yeah. Longest cruise I've been on is 2 weeks, 14 nights. Only see the shipping info and tariffs for the US. How much are the Europe tariffs and shipping? Are you looking on my merchandise website? If you're looking on the merchandise website, you should be able to change your country in the bottom corner. It should say. So if you're in the UK, you should see everything in pounds. And it should say t-shirts, they're made in Florida, so if you're within the US they normally get there in a week. I normally say 2 to 3 weeks to sort of cover it. In the UK it's normally within 2 weeks to the UK. So yeah, this is the one for the week. This, I was inspired by this one because I saw the most amazing review. Let me see if I can find it. I think it was from Alicia. I'm very sorry if I remembered it wrong, but this is the picture Let me find it. Where is it? Here it is. So this is on my website, and look at that picture there, on board Allure of the Seas with the matching cat T-shirts and Captain Hudson. I think that is just incredible. And yeah, you can see here I have the Captain Hudson in the pocket. We have that on suitcases. You can see the suitcase there and the magnets and all kinds of stuff. But I was inspired by that one because I think that is a very good picture. I could never plan a picture that good on a cruise ship. So this was inspired by that this week. My mum says, could you give a shout out to Christopher's wife Julie, as it is their 16th wedding anniversary? Of course I can. Happy anniversary, guys. That's very, very cool. I love how my mum saw this message. I didn't see it, but I can see my mum. What I need is like I use a streaming software to stream this so I can put the comments on the screen. What would be really good is if I could have a separate channel here with like my mum in it, and then she could say things and I could see them. Because at the minute she's just in the normal comments. Sorry, I missed it. Can you please show the shirt you're wearing again? Of course I can. Hang on. I'm going to put down your comments so you can see it. I think it's the right way around for you guys, right? It's the wrong way around for me, but it is. All you need in life are cats and cruises. And I designed this, and we have the cat. Apparently, it looks like a swan. Kind of does. You see that? But there's also dogs. There's also rabbits. Discount is cats, dogs, rabbits. Whatever I put in the pinned comment, that is the discount. I normally do a discount for 24 hours at the live streams for you guys. So don't tell anyone else who's not watching the live stream. Any plans to do an Australian cruise? I would love to do an Australian cruise, top of the bucket list. It is so far away. And flying to Singapore, the thought of my flight that I took to Singapore was going to Sydney. The thought of getting off and then getting back on and going on the plane again after 13 hours, like, have massive respect for everyone who does that. But I think I'm going to need to sail there or get business class flights if anyone wants to give me those, because it is a long way. It is a very, very long way. The right way round. Awesome. So glad to hear it. I'm excited to cruise on Spectrum on February 7th. Done 2 Caribbean cruises on Freedom. Is it vastly different cruising in Asia? Is the karaoke room awesome? So it was interesting because they have a place called the Starlight or Stardust or something lounge. And it's like it was a bar on Anthem, but there was no bar in there. It's a karaoke bar, but without the bar. On Spectrum, I don't know where the bar went. There was no bar in there. And they have some karaoke rooms at the back. So that was weird. I guess you get a drink from somewhere else if you're in there. I don't know. Or maybe it was broken. I'm not sure. But yes. There's certain things that are different that you just get used to. For me, being British, some of the things that I have to get used to, like they took away the soda machines. They replaced it with soda that had laxatives in it. Didn't like that much. But if I was from Japan, I'd be used to that Coke, right? So depends where you're from, depends what you like. Slightly, yeah. It's just different, but very, very interesting. It was so interesting to be like, if we went to trivia, if you went to certain things, you could tell which nationalities were going to be there. So you go to trivia, it's Brits, Australians, and Americans, and Canadians, I guess. That was it every single time. And apparently, if they're not doing a long cruise, if they're doing like a 3-day from Singapore or 4-day, they don't bother putting on trivia because no one goes to it. But on the long ones, if you want to find other Brits, you just go to trivia. Easy peasy. Justin says, are you able to do this full time or do you have a separate job? So I did this alongside a separate full-time job for 5 years, and I left that job in 2021. So now I full-time run an online business. If you're interested, go to emmacruises.com, type in income. There's all kinds of things. The creating of the YouTube videos is like the very top of the iceberg of the things that I do. Yes, if you do have a question, please feel free to do it a couple of times in the chat. But if you've done it maybe 10 times and I haven't answered it, it's probably because I don't have an answer. I gotta be honest. Yes. So yeah, Cruise Boys say we do that every time we go to see the in-laws. 14-hour flight, off for an hour, then back on in 9 hours. Oof. Yeah, it's a long way. Oh my goodness, I can't even imagine. Is there an adapter that works in the UK to convert US devices to non-2020? This is beyond me. If anyone knows the answer to that in the chat, I've never known an adapter to blow out any voltage in my life. So, yeah, if someone knows, please answer that in the chat. Jan says, any river cruises in the near future? I don't have any booked, but I feel like I really want to do another river cruise. It's been a long time since I've done one. And I'm really interested in it, especially as it sort of gets colder. I think it's quite nice to do like I don't know, like European capital cities and Christmas markets and stuff. In which year was your first cruise? 2005? 2005. Yes. Can digital nomads get by with cruise ship Wi-Fi for basic software needs? So if I try to work, take my last cruise, for example, if I had my old job, I would have been fired. I would have been on a warning. Absolutely. There's no way I could have done it. Doing a job like I do now, it doesn't really matter if I do stuff in the evenings, if I do it in the day, if I need to do a call and I have to turn off my video, it doesn't matter because I am my boss of my business. But if I had a separate boss, I would be in big trouble because it's just not always reliable. For example, on our cruise, sometimes it would be really good. And when I say really good, I mean like 10 megabits. That's really good. Normally, if I'm doing a live stream, I need at least 2. And for context, I have about 300 at home, so it's a lot slower. But if you get 10, you're absolutely winning. And we had that quite a lot on Spectrum. But then also we had 3 days where we had no internet because we were cruising close to China, and China, Royal Caribbean won't say why their internet didn't work, but something to do with Royal Caribbean's internet and Starlink, China, it doesn't work. So there's no internet, couldn't Google anything. WhatsApp worked though, interestingly, and Facebook for those 3 days, but I couldn't check an email, couldn't send an email, anything like that. Do you have any interest in the Orient Express, basically cruise on rails? I don't really have any interest. I don't know. I would do it, but I see the prices of things like this, and I just think I'd prefer to be on a cruise ship. I do have a friend. His name's Will. He runs the YouTube channel Trek Trendy, and this is absolutely his sort of thing. So I've seen inside all of these things from his perspective. But yeah. Yeah, Cruise Boys say, Emma, that's called the Great Firewall of China. Yeah, exactly. So if I had a boss and I just didn't do any work for 3 days because I couldn't log on, I would be in big trouble. David says, what flavor squash are you drinking? I am drinking Vimto, the best squash of all. Vimto. I did bring a couple of squirty squashes on my cruise with me, which was very good. I did also go to Marks and Spencer's when I got to Hong Kong, and I bought some Percy Pigs and some custard creams because I was missing home. And they were very good. Very, very good. Some interesting comments in here. Thank you so much to the moderators who are looking after these. I couldn't do the live streams without you, and I really appreciate it. What is the difference between a cruise ship and an ocean liner? Aren't they doing the same thing? There's quite a few differences, but I think the easiest to understand main one is that an ocean liner is designed to go from here to here. That's it. It transports stuff. It transports people. That's the point of it. And a cruise ship is like just floating around in circles, having a good time, people dancing by the pool. The cruise ships are very much for pleasure, and ocean liners are a journey, right? That's the idea. So they don't really make ocean liners anymore because cruise ships can go long distances. They do transatlantic cruises, of course. But if you were to do a transatlantic cruise on a ship like Queen Mary 2, which is the last ocean liner, she has like a different shaped hull and it's thicker and there's all kinds of different things. But it's better for those open stretches of rough weather. What are custard creams? They are the best biscuits in the world. Yeah, 2 biscuits with a cream filling. Yeah. I hate to say like an Oreo because they're 50 times better than an Oreo. But yeah, an Oreo is a bad version of a custard cream. Yeah. Yeah, 7-Elevens. No 7-Elevens in the UK. No, I've never seen a 7-Eleven in the UK. I don't know if they are here, but they have them in Japan. It was great fun. That's what I mean. Even if you just go to somewhere like 7-Eleven, it's really, really cool. Yeah, ocean liners are built for speed and hardiness. Yes. And so smooth. I think if I'm going to do a transatlantic, which I would love to do, Queen Mary 2 is the way that I want to do it. How do you go swimming on a cruise ship? You either get changed in your cabin and then go to the pool, or you go to the pool and then you get changed and then you go in the swimming pool. There's not much to it. You don't have to have a time or book it or anything. You just see how busy it is and then you go. I will say, on board Spectrum, they have this amazing solarium. It was so quiet. It was so quiet all the time. Even if we went on a sea day in the middle of the day, we could get a seat. We might not get the best seats with the best view, but we could always get a seat. And that is not always the case on every cruise. But if you went in the evening, anytime from like 5, there was no one in the pools. You could have 3 pools in the solarium to yourself and 20 sun lounges, which was really nice. Jonathan says, is COVID a concern when cruising? Do you take any precautions when cruising? I feel so much less likely to get ill now, spending a lot of time on cruises, than I did when I used to commute into an office. So much. Because on a cruise, everything is cleaned so often. You sanitize your hands all the time. People ask you to wash your hands. When I used to go on the train, did anyone ever clean the trains? I don't know. I used to commute work on the train. And in an office, you'd always get people who were unwell, but they were made to go to the office, right? But no one's made to come and sit next to you on a cruise. So, yeah. Of course, if you're going to spend 2 weeks with 3,000 people, you may get a cold, you may get COVID, you may get sick. Statistically, that's not unlikely. But I would always pick being on a cruise versus, I mean, if you go to the theater on land, it's the same thing as going on a cruise ship, right? I think so. But the cruise, like, it's just so much higher standards than hotels and stuff on land. Hobnobs are my favorite. Glad I can find them at the grocery store in the USA. Nice. Chocolate digestives, they're a good biscuit, yeah. I'll put them maybe like 5th place. I mean, Jammy Dodgers are definitely number 2. Definitely. What is a crumpet? How do you describe a crumpet? It's like a bread thing, right? That you put butter on and the bread and it drips down into it and you put it in the toaster. I don't know how else to describe it. It's pretty good. lots of conversations in here. Paul says, how many potatoes could you fit in the bra that was left on board Queen Mary 2? Probably quite a lot. So when I cruised on Queen Mary 2, my parents had a balcony cabin. I had an inside cabin. I had a comment earlier, made me laugh, and it was like, you're a fully grown adult and you're still cruising with your parents. How embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for them if they don't have any relationship with their parents where they would like to spend time with them. That's sad, right? Like, I have quite a good relationship with my parents. But anyway, in the back of the drawer, behind the drawer, my mum found this giant bra that someone left on board. Yeah, Cruise Boys say crumpet is similar to what Americans call an English muffin, but better. Yeah, it's more, it's a different like texture to a muffin, I think. But yes. Yeah, my mum says, what type of potatoes? Crumpet is fluffier. Yeah, crumpet is fluffier. I've never been on a transatlantic cruise. 0. Yeah, I've been on 2 cruises with my parents. Your parents are the best. Thank you. I feel very lucky that I can cruise with my parents. I know a lot of people would like to do that or wish that they had done that when they could. So why would I not want to do that? But yeah, I get the same thing. I get a lot of comments that are like, you cruise with your brother. That's so weird. It's so weird to me that you don't want to hang out with your siblings. Like, yeah, I'll cruise with my family anytime. Absolutely. Aw, see, Deborah says, my 27-year-old son never passes up a chance to go on a cruise with me. So I think that is so nice. That is so good. So good. Yeah, David said Royal Caribbean told me under their breath that China blocks the Starlink signal. Yeah, I did. I was in some of those conversations too. Obviously, Royal Caribbean can't say, but they would say, "Oh, well, China has its own version of Starlink." So with my parents and mother-in-law, interesting. I've never tried a dream cruise. No, I haven't. Nuh-uh. Do you go through a cruise withdrawal between trips? I mean, I cruise a lot now, so it's not the same as when I worked in an office and I used to have a little squishy ship that I put on top of my screen, and then every single day I moved it to the next cruise date. It is kind of the same, but it's like, oh, that date is when I'm next going away. I want to get done this, and this, and these 3 videos, and I want to, if it was like, it's coming, and I'm like, I gotta do these things. It's different now. It is different. Um, oh, lots of people cruising with family. Um, do you have any interest in luxury lines? I think I answered this one earlier, so that's probably why I didn't answer it. I have interest in it, of course. It's good fun. I don't think I'm ever going to give up cruising on the big ships, though, or the budget ships. I really enjoy it when something didn't cost very much money. So yeah, I'm happy to add in luxury. Of course, I am. Can you notice any similarities between every carnival ship? Like Princess. I think Princess ships are much more similar than Carnival ships. With Carnival, there's very much like an old Carnival and then new Carnival, the same way as there is with Costa. You can look at a ship and be like, old Costa or new Costa. I think it is the same with Carnival. I've only taken one Carnival cruise. It was definitely on the older side. Well, I think it was on the older side of the Carnival ships. But it was good fun, just so colorful. I've never seen anything like it. It was like if you upped the saturation of real life. Like imagine you had glasses on that made everything brighter. That's exactly what it was like, but just in real life. Dale says, what is the best luggage to take on a cruise? Hard suitcase or collapsible suitcase? So I have both because I have a soft suitcase that I am quite happy to just throw around. It was cheap, it gets bushed up. Fine. No problem. If I'm flying a long way, I'll take that. And I also have a suitcase that I care about more. That is my Captain Hudson suitcase. And it says, I'm going on a cruise with Captain Hudson. That is a hard suitcase. And I take that if I'm doing like I recently did a trip in Germany. That's the suitcase that I will take. So I have both. It is just personal preference. There's things that I prefer about soft suitcases and things I prefer about hard suitcases. I kind of like how in a soft suitcase, it's easier to open it in the airport and go through it without everything falling out because it's mostly one side. But then also I really like when I'm on a train, you can sit on a hard suitcase much better than a soft suitcase. So difficult. Thank you, Chris, for my super chat. It says, I went to a 7-Eleven in Stockholm, in Sweden. I've given my parents the cruise bug as they have 2 booked for next year. That sounds amazing. That is good. My parents gave me the bug, cruise bug. What do you love about cruising? Oh my goodness, that is. We only have 15 minutes. That's kind of tricky, but I think cruising by itself is so fun. It is a destination in itself, but also it makes traveling so much easier. And it's like being looked after. For example, when I went to my Asia cruise that I just got off, we had 1 day in Vietnam. It's very unlikely that I'm going to go for 1 day in Vietnam by myself, trying to work out trains and taxis and cars and everything like that. But on the cruise, it is like, we're looking after you. You can go out of your comfort zone in the day. You can go out there, but then you can come back to us. You know where your food's going to be. You know where your bed is. You've already unpacked. You don't have to unpack again. Moving around hotels and things, you have to constantly unpack and repack. It's stressful working out things. So I think it's just the easiest way to travel. It has everything that I love on there. When I look at what a good day is for me, I mean, going out to dinner, going to the theater, listening to some live music, or maybe going for a swim. All those things are on cruise ships. Paul says, I've seen on occasion where suitcases have ended up in the water, so I will go with hard, sealable cases every time. That is fair enough. That is not something I've ever worried about. We only have 4 hours. Yeah, exactly. Hopefully that made sense, but... Chocolate-covered custard creams from Marks and Spencer's. Really? I've never heard of that. Never heard of that. Tim says, does everyone in the UK have an uncle named Bob? Perhaps. Bob's your uncle. Are you going on a Christmas cruise and New Year cruise, and which one? I don't have any booked at the minute. I don't really know what I'm going to do for Christmas yet, but I may be tempted. We will see. I don't have any plans at the minute. Christmas cruising is fantastic, though. You don't have to worry about anything. Same thing that I just said, but you don't have to really worry about, oh, do I have enough food for everyone? Has everyone got a present? Do we have enough chairs? It doesn't matter. You don't have to worry about the number of chairs you have. You're not washing up the plates. You don't do anything. You just chill. And that's pretty good. It's really, really fun. Do you think 7-Elevens would work in the UK with good cooked food? I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, we have a lot of shops that are just like 7-Eleven, I think. So I don't know that we need one. Yeah, Rich says that's what's confusing when people say cruising is expensive. Look at all that is included: dinner, shows, travel, and a hotel all in one. Yes. I mean, because I flew to Singapore, that's a long way. You're not going to fly to Singapore and then get straight on the cruise. So I had 2 nights in Singapore, one day really because of the time difference. And then I stayed a night in Tokyo before flying home. And the hotel cost in Singapore per night was double the price of what the cruise was. And the cruise included all of my food, it included the entertainment, it included like all the drinks and stuff in the buffet, like so many things. Um, Cruise Boy say, Emma, I thought you were coming with us just pre-Christmas. I don't have any plans, is what I said, but we will see. What do you not like about cruises? I can't. Let's think. What do I not like? I don't like it when I'm an hour into a theatre show and people decide that they need to come in and they need to sit right in the middle. That really annoys me. I wish cruises would just close, like the regular theatre, close the doors, lock the doors, put the shutters up, and don't let people in. That is it. I also don't like art auctions at all. I don't understand the point. I don't really understand art, though. I think that's probably it. Do you know if P&O celebrate Halloween and November the 5th? I don't know. I mean, most cruise lines would have some sort of Halloween party. You think they would tell you though, right? Because who is just going to have a Halloween costume casually? But I have been on cruises for Halloween before. I did one on Royal Caribbean. They had all in the Central Street on Independence of the Seas. They have like a car there, and it had skeletons in it and stuff, which was cool. Yes, yeah. Rude people. Yeah, most of the things I would not like about cruises would be the people. Sounds really mean, but like people who are rude to the crew and stuff like that. Yeah, there's very few things I don't like about cruises. It's really hard to think about it. I don't like not having a bath. I really like a bath, but then also I could pay for a suite with a bath in it if I wanted, but that's never going to happen. But when I come home, I'm like, yes, I can have a bath again. And also toast. No cruise line has ever made toast as good as I can at home. Where would you recommend for a first cruise as a honeymoon? Completely depends on the couple. You may love hot weather, you may love cold weather, you may love beaches, you may love cities, you may love to go to Asia. I need to know who the couple are, really. What I would recommend is if you go to emmacruises.com, I have a free guide. The first lesson in that is all about cruise lines. So it has every single cruise line, how they compare on price, formality, everything like that. And once you've downloaded the first one, it'll join you into a free email course that I have. And lesson 2 is all about the main cruise destinations. So where cruises go, what the peak times are, what sort of things you do in those destinations, and then it goes through how to book the cruise, what to expect. Everything I know about cruising is in this free course. So emmacruises.com, just enter your email and it will send you an email every 3 days with everything in it. If you would like all of that stuff instantly, I have an audio version, an audio course that you can buy, and that is me talking for I don't know how many 4 hours maybe. So if you like my voice, 4 hours, everything you need to know in order with no sort of fluff. Just this is what it is. Stories about cruises I've taken and stuff. Will December 1 to 17 have Christmas stuff on? Yes, absolutely. Normally they decorate sort of towards the end of November. Definitely they'll be ready for Christmas. The whole of December will be Christmassy. I love a Halloween cruise. Yeah, I think it's cool. Yes. Favorite cruise? Joint one I just did. So Spectrum of the Seas, Singapore to Tokyo, and Golden Princess, Singapore to Tokyo, I did in 2018. I recreated basically that cruise because it was my favorite cruise I've ever taken, and it did not disappoint. Did not disappoint. David says, which cruise line do you feel has the best buffets, such as food, layout, etc.? It is Celebrity Cruises. There is no question there. They have the best buffets. They have great cookies. They have so many things that I like where you can just, it's already prepared and you can just grab a little tub of like a little thing of nachos or a little thing of like something with dip, and it's just all ready and it's just fresh and it's just nice and there's a lot of choice. Yeah, Celebrity. Absolutely Celebrity. Will holiday cruises label themselves, or is it just assumed? It is just assumed if you go on a cruise near Christmas, they'll be Christmas decorated. They don't normally say when. I guess they wouldn't want to say when because then they're stuck to that schedule. But normally it's sort of uh, towards the end of November. They'll start decorating. Andrew says, I wonder if that super mean comment you got from that woman on your mean comments video was because she was a sensitive artist who sells her stuff at cruise ship auctions. Perhaps. Perhaps. We will never know. MSC only decorated a week before. Interesting. I have been on an MSC cruise actually for Christmas, which was interesting. And I've done P&O Christmas and I have done Norwegian Cruise Line Christmas. So I've done American Christmas, British Christmas, and Italian Christmas, I suppose, which was really interesting. What are the main differences between a group cruise and a normal cruise? It depends what you mean by group cruise. Sometimes you can go on a cruise where you have group rates just because the travel agent has, for example, booked 50 cabins, and then there'll be a group rate, but you'll never know who anyone else is. You'll never see them. That's fine. If you do a group cruise with someone like JJ Cruise, they run group cruises. They're YouTubers. They do events where you meet up every day. They have special things that they hand out. So yeah, depends who is running the group cruise. James says, love these live chats. Good info and humor too. Well done, Emma. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, they have Halloween cruises on Disney Cruise Line. I would expect that. You would think that they would be ready, right? With their like Halloween, I don't know, Halloween wardrobe, Halloween decorations. Yes. Oh my goodness, the time is flying. We're nearly at the end of this live stream. I saw a comment about having to rewatch because it was late. Can't believe it goes so fast. Yeah, so the discount is cats, dogs, rabbits. Cats, dogs, rabbits for this t-shirt. It's not just this t-shirt, it's also the vest tops. That's a Britishism because I think you would say tank tops, but we would say vest tops and kids ones, toddlers ones, kids ones. John, thank you for the super chat. He says, I dressed up as the character Uncle Buck while in Quebec on a ghost stories excursion. Going to wear my costume. That's amazing. I'm not one for the ghost things. That does scare me a little bit. Yeah, not so much. But enjoy. You're just braver than me. Leighton says, I've been on Iona and Arvia. What is Britannia like? So Britannia is a smaller ship. She's much smaller. She's much more traditional, less family orientated. I mean, still middle of the range, but Iona and Arvia were very much P&Os, move into the family market. They're bigger cruise ships. They're more modern cruise ships. So it's a bit more sort of classical, traditional cruising on Britannia. I cruised on Britannia. If you want to scroll many years back on my channel, you'll find that. Please say garage before you go. There you go. Garage, pasta. I don't know what else people ask me to say. Rick says, don't forget to hit the like button. Yes, that would help. If you haven't already seen my recent video about Queen Mary II's cabin, if you can check that out, that would be good. And I do have some videos about the yachts and the Corinth Canal, which don't do very well on my channel, really, but I find them very interesting, so I'm going to keep sharing them. I don't know if I'll be seasick on my first cruise. What are the over-counter medicines do you recommend just in case? It depends what country you're from, which ones you can get. In the UK, Quells is my favorite. Yes. Bath glasses, lol. Fran says, are you as frugal with everything as you are with cruises? I'm so much more frugal with everything else than cruises, so I can go on cruises. Yes, I love it. Why would I want to spend more than I have to on things? I enjoy them more if if it's half price. So yes, absolutely. Always been like that. Absolutely. I was always the kid counting my pound coins out in a pile because I want to save them. When does your recent Asia trip video air? So I have recorded it today. So when it is edited, that will be the one about the ports. Then I'm going to try and record the next video next week, and then that'll possibly be the week after. So hopefully by the end of next week, although I have the cabin video to do first, I had an obstructed view cabin that had a lifeboat in the way, which was very interesting. Yeah, little freeway cola. Yes, of course. That's amazing. I love that one. Fran says, but you're worth the dollar. Thank you very much. But it doesn't mean more money spent on things doesn't mean better at all. You can enjoy something that is cheaper way more than you would enjoy something that's more expensive. So yeah, I don't think people should just spend more money for the sake of spending more money. And yeah, so it is the end of this live stream. That hour has flown by. Thank you so much to everyone who's left a comment and a question. I really appreciate it. Sorry if I couldn't answer them, but I have a lot to answer. If you do have a question that you want me to personally answer, I do a podcast every single week. This is my podcast microphone for my Patreons and my channel members. So if you want a guaranteed answer, that's the best place to do it. If not, I do my best trying to reply to YouTube comments and everything, but there are a lot of them. So yes, thank you so much, everybody. I will see you all next week. I'll be back at the same time. And fingers crossed, cheeky little version 3 will be available to buy soon. Goodbye, everybody.